If you look for it, every day has cause for celebration. Celebrate a friend for their promotion, baby wedding, life thing. Celebrate yourself for keeping the couch warm. It's no easy feat, especially if it's a big couch. Or maybe you just want to celebrate living in 2023, where you can get beer, wine, and spirits delivered from Drizzly in under 60 minutes without leaving said couch. So download the Drizzly app or go to drizzly.com. That's DRIZLY.com and get your favorite drinks delivered today.
Without a healthy mind, being truly happy and at peace is hard. The good news is therapy works. But what is therapy exactly? It's whatever you want it to be. Maybe you're not feeling motivated right now and would like some tools to help. Or maybe you're feeling insecure in relationships or at work, not dealing well with stress. Whatever you need, it's time to stop being ashamed of normal human struggles and start feeling better because you deserve to be happy. And now you don't have to worry about finding an in-person therapist near you to help. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can start communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours. Join the millions of people who are seeing what online therapy is really about. It's always a good time to invest in yourself because you are your greatest asset. And a special offer to Immaletyoufinish listeners, you can get 10% off your first month of professional therapy at betterhelp.com/Immaletyu, IMMALETU. That's betterhelp.com/Immaletyu, IMMALETU. Thanks again to BetterHelp for sponsoring this podcast.
What's up, everybody? It's your host, Court and Amy, and we are Immaletyoufinish. This is episode 117 on the Pantheon Podcast Network. Yay. And we're back. If you hear a little noise in the background, we're having some, New York City work repairs done in the background.
And that's not a euphemism for plastic surgery. He is actually having actual work done in his apartment.
Although I will try to have plastic surgery in my apartment too, because evidently you can call and people will come and inject
Yeah.
I'm going to get some, I want a BBL like everyone else.
What's that?
The Brazilian butt lift. You know the fake asses that you're seeing everybody have?
Oh, no,
that they all
I'm fine.
think looks nice, but they don't realize it doesn't, and they all seem to spread out to the side.
I've been blessed, point. I must say, for a woman of white persuasion, I have been blessed with a fairly decent butt. Not that it's gotten me anywhere, but
you also do Pilates and stuff, so it really helps.
Yeah, but I also come from a family of big-assed women, and it's worked well in my All right. Well, speaking of big asses,
shout out to all the butts, the real ones, the fake ones. We love you all.
But all right. Now here's a woman who doesn't have a butt, but she has all the songs in the top 100, top 10 of Billboard. Taylor Swift. You're going to have to explain to me. I don't understand how you can only have one single, but every song is top 10.
Well, it's because of now the way albums are released, right? And streaming, where you don't have to listen to a whole album, even though people do. They usually listen to a whole album. Then you go back and start playing over and over again the cuts that you like. So it's led by Antihero, which actually is the official single, which is becoming a monster at radio. So that is shot right into number one. And then you have Lavender Haze, I believe, is actually number two, the song that leads off the album, which to me, I think we talked about this last week, very smart. Because you hear a song like that, which is really great, something she hasn't, not a sound you hear from her. It makes you listen to the rest of the album to think, okay, well, if you start with this, is this
what's it going to be like? How are you going to wrap it up?
What else?
Yeah, she tricked me with that one too.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, looky, she's going Portishead. Man, it ended up being Taylor Swift. But she tricked me, that Taylor.
So all of the streaming numbers are what helps get those other songs in that chart. It's so weird, right? Because we come from a generation where literally that chart was like the one you wanted to be on. And it was singles
Singles
that
only.
really
Real
worked.
singles.
It was based on radio and sales. But
Right.
now there's YouTube and, TikTok
crazy.
and every streaming platform. So all of that comes together and, to make those numbers. So
It almost seems like, in a way, I'm not taking anything away because it's an amazing achievement, but it almost seems like you get a prize and you get a prize and it's a little
Please don't get me started on
weird.
how I feel about that in number one albums, because now every number one albums used to be an achievement, right? You worked really hard to have
Right.
a number one album. But now it feels like if you have those moments of everybody ran to listen to your record on streaming services, you get enough streams and watches on YouTube, and you get these number one debuts, and then you look how many they sold, and it's like they sold 22,000 units, and you're like, wow, that's a number one record in 2022.
But she did sell a lot of records.
She physically sold 1,140,000
I mean, that's
records.
music industry numbers.
And that is the last record to sell big like that was her record in 2017, Reputation. Not even Lover and Evermore, Never Faith, or Faith No More, or whatever those two were called. So listen, when you're breaking your own records, that's a very unique place to be. I'm very happy for her. I'm sure her fans are happy. And she announced her tour today called the Eras Tour. It's going to be the first half. They've announced the US dates. It's a stadium tour starting, I believe, in March, and she's going to doing from all of the eras of her career.
That's the way she has to do it, because this is not an album you can tour on, this record.
Well, she could, because she's Taylor Swift, right? And
no, but what I mean is it's not going to be scintillating live, but she's got to throw everything else in.
Well, listen, she's the type of artist who's still in that part of her career where she's always going to throw hits in there. She's not like at the later part where people start acting like, I don't like those songs. I don't want to perform those songs. It's like,
well, she's also reintroduced those hits by re-recording it. She's literally made like Reputation a brand new record for a lot of people, or whichever one she's up to.
Well, Reputation was a new record. It was Red she redid, and what was the other one? The thingy with the people. Anyway, but we happy for her, good for her. Yay, Taylor. What's next?
All right, I don't even know where to go with this next one. Let's do Rihanna, and then we'll do Patti Smith, because I just want to get the Rihanna thing over.
Okay, but you have to get closer to your mic. Remember,
I just want to get the Rihanna thing over and done with.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
All right, I have to preface it. I love Rihanna. I think Rihanna is a badass. I think she's so cool. Mm-hmm. I don't think she sounds like a goat. Arsenio. Mm-hmm. I think that she's. As soon as I heard that this was going to be a song from a movie and that the director helped write the song, I went, "Oh, this is not it." Ryan Coogler's many things, songwriter. I do not believe he is. And as soon as I heard that this song was going to be a tribute to the late Chet, I was like, "Oh, if it's a tribute to
the more I started getting, the more information started coming out, I
got scared.
Oh, okay, because."
Yeah.
This is a very bold choice of how you decide to return after 6 years. No judgments.
No judgment.
I knew it wasn't going to be a bop, but I'm like, here's the thing.
It's not a bop.
We love Rihanna.
It's not a bop.
But that's not the girl I'm going to for my big vocal emotional moment. I'm going to her for a pussy wiggler. You know what I'm saying? For that moment. I'm not going for her for the Celine Dion make me feel something. Now, do I dislike the song? I don't dislike the song. I don't think it's terrible.
It's not catching me.
I also don't think it's great. And I'm just like, okay.
It feels like the song that plays over credits in a blockbuster movie, and she's going to do this. Here's something. The next one is going to be her song. You know what I mean? Like, this is the Black Panther song. Huge, like the movie, easily going to be the biggest blockbuster movie of the year. Tons of anticipation, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so here's this. Before she goes on the Super Bowl, there's going to be like the bop, I think. because this can't be it.
I mean, I get nervous because the way it was described was the beginning of an exciting new era for the singer.
I don't want to. No, I don't want.
I'm
this
like,
to be
is this your singer-songwriter era?
No, I don't want that. I don't want that. No, I don't.
I'm like, okay.
No, I don't want that.
It's like,
I need a little. I don't need it. I don't mind.
And I love how much you could tell everybody loves her because people are trying to be so polite in the response.
Well, I do love her, and the thing is, this is a very. Take a Bow was a great, a great song, and it was not
that's
a pop
ballad,
but it was a pop song.
And it's the moment.
No,
it's a This could have worked if it maybe like this is it's almost like a lullaby.
It's just not. All right, I'm going to confess. I made it 54 seconds, and then I couldn't take it anymore. And then I sped ahead. I just don't want. This is not what I want, but she's back. That's all that matters. She's back, and I'm happy.
I'm going to need it to be.
No, but I'm happy she's back because I love her. I think she's cool.
Her.
I love her,
but you made it 54 seconds in. That's not great for somebody that you love. You couldn't even get through a 2 minute and something song for someone that you love. That's not great.
I know.
It's not great. Well, and we're all like just trying to be polite, like gowns, nice gowns.
Nice gowns. No, I think she's. I think the Super Bowl is where she's going to pull out all the stops and come out with the killer song.
I mean, I hope so.
It's this is the fucking Circle of Life song, okay? It's like that dopey song that Beyonce did for whatever dopey movie.
It's almost like they need to drop something else this Friday. You know what I mean?
Fast.
To
take our minds off of this. That was great.
It was an amuse-bouche.
Yeah, an amuse-bouche. All right. Well, here's something that's not amusing or boushy. Okay. For some, literally out of nowhere, and it happened months ago, it turns out. Mm-hmm. Rolling Stone did an article that said that Patti Swift's 1978 album Easter, which is her biggest selling album because it had Because of the Night on it. So it's the closest thing she's had to like a top 10 single.
Right.
So I think it was her third album. Anyway, long story short, there was a song on the album that has always been controversial, has always been very provocative. And when it came out in 1978, I remember...
That is called Rock and Roll Nigger. I appreciate you for not saying the title, but I will say it for our people listening.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. And we were always uncomfortable. I mean, the title always kind of like, okay. And she is not using...
I've seen her play that.
I have too.
And it turned people out. Okay, fun fact.
But wait, let me...
Life beat. We'll go back, finish the story so I can go back to the Life beat
but
story.
So the song has suddenly been, just the song has been taking off all streaming systems. Now, it's still available on digital downloads of albums, so you can still hear it. It's still obviously available on physical copies of albums. There's been no comment from her camp. No one knows whether she made this request because they stopped playing the song in 2019. No one has offered any explanation for this. That song, as covered by other people, is still on streaming services. So it just sort of happened like, oh, wait a minute, where is the song? And it's very weird. It's just very weird that it's suddenly, whether you like the song or not, I just don't think it's a great song. I mean, I've never thought it was one of her better songs, but it's like, it just disappeared and nobody can tell you why. All right, I'm sorry. You were saying about...
I was one of the very early volunteers for Life Beat, the Music Industry Fights AIDS organization. And, Life Beat used to do a lot of concerts and benefit concerts and had a lot of different artists. That's how I saw Blondie. I'd never seen Blondie until Life Beat, different stuff. Jamiroquai. There was one concert that they had that had a bunch of people, and Patti Smith and Patti Smith Band was one of the people. And they performed Rock and Roll Nigger, and some people were I remember feeling a sort of ways about it. Now, I understood, I don't know, maybe because I work in music, I know what the song was saying. Do I agree with it? That's neither here nor there. They're playing the song. I understand what the song is saying, but I also am feeling like, yeah, but just doesn't feel good.
It's weird when you hear the words coming out of someone's mouth who you know is not a redneck racist. It's a hard word to say. She's being artistic and contextualizing it. You're still like, wow, you're not just saying nigga. You're just flat out going with it. And it's like, whoa, okay.
And so, I just think about that and I say, why now? To me, it has to have been an artist request. Because the word is used way too much in a lot of music and other songs that have the word in the title, right? So I believe it's an artist request and she's just not coming out publicly to make a statement on why she's
But Lenny K says it wasn't.
Then that's really weird. Like, who could come and just
that's what I've heard is that he said, why? It's just weird. It's weird,
But you know what
right?
comes back to me? You know how I feel about censorship.
Right.
And me and censorship I just don't agree with it. You cannot like something. You cannot like the words. You cannot like what somebody is saying. You cannot like something. That is okay. But I don't believe we're all adults and we can make informed choices. And I don't like a forced censorship. I just don't.
I just don't get it. What's so weird about it? The song has not been in discussion in years. Like in years, and so it's not even a B-side of something. It's a song on an album. It was always controversial. It's not one of her best songs, but she has stopped playing it. She issued a statement when she stopped playing it. And Patti Smith, I don't know Patti Smith.
Well, the only thing I can ask you, do you think she sold her catalog to somebody?
No, they would have said all that too. Right. I mean, this is not, Patti Smith, I don't know her, but I know enough people who have worked with her and do know her. She's not somebody who's not going to say why she's doing something. I mean, she uses words for a living.
But she's also silent, right? To say she's
not offering a statement, but it's just for weird that nobody is saying anything.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the weird part, because what you just said is, I would think, knowing her, she's a poet, she's an artist for real. Right. If somebody just edited your material,
right,
you would be screaming from the mountaintops. So I find it very hard to believe that the choice was not coming from an artist area. Because Patti Smith does not seem like the type who would just be like, they just edited my song and took it out. It's fine. They edited my album. It's all right. Like my seminal work, the work that people think of when they think of me.
Well, no, this is totally not her seminal work.
No, I'm talking Horses. The Horses in that album. There's that period of those two albums where if you ask casual Patti Smith fans.
Yeah, well, it's her biggest selling. Yeah, for sure.
I
don't know. It's just weird. And it's also just sort of like that. It happened months ago that nobody said anything, that it just happened to be noticed. Like, it's just a weird one, because whether it should have happened or not is also a discussion, but it's just so weird that it did. And it's like if a tree falls in a forest. I don't understand. And if you're going to get rid of it, then get rid of it in then don't make it digitally available, and get rid of the Marilyn Manson version too. Like, that's what I just don't get.
Doesn't John Lennon and Yoko Ono have a song, "Woman is the Nigger of the World"? I mean, that's still there.
Yeah, the whole thing is very, very weird.
It's too random.
Yeah, it's just like, why now?
That's too random.
Why now?
And the fact that, I'm sorry, I think of her as a real artist.
She is, yeah.
For her, if she is silent on this issue, I have to believe part of that comes from an artist area. Because just from someone who's worked with artists, like the thought of somebody just changing your album and not saying, I just don't know a scenario from working in management where that could ever happen.
Right.
Without us agreeing to something.
Yeah, it's just weird.
Like, you can't just change my album.
Yeah, it's just it's just sort of a weird, like, like it's slow news week and this happened, All right, Elon Musk is horrible. Let's all get off Twitter. There. He's horrible. He's a horrible person. I don't even understand the point of Twitter, to be honest with you. I mean, I have a Twitter account. We all do. Blah, blah, blah. I never use it except to promote the show. The only thing I do on my Twitter is I send mixed music out on there. Right. We use it for promotional stuff. Yep. I hate the fact that, like, our public policy is done through Twitter. I mean, I think it has contributed, among other things, to the dumbing down of this country. But this man is just a horrible human being. Within 48 hours of taking over, he was already retweeting conspiracy theories about Nancy Pelosi's husband almost being murdered.
The thing
And
that's
making
crazy
light
about
of
that
it.
is I've been seeing so much stuff online, and I keep from all of these conspiracy theories, and then I've been seeing really weird shit from Republicans talking about blue states, and I'm like, are you acting like there's no crime in Republican states? It's incredible. I'm like, there's crime in every state.
Mm-hmm.
And have we lost all humanity
Yep.
when the thought of an 82-year-old, anybody, fighting for their life and being hit in their head with a hammer? I'm sorry. I don't want an 82-year-old Republican hitting his head with a hammer.
Well,
I
that's
don't
not
want.
true. I could think
No,
of
I
something.
don't want. No, you don't
I'm
want
kidding.
that for anybody.
I'm kidding.
I
I'm
don't
kidding.
want that for anybody.
Not even Trump?
And like, no, not even him. I don't want
Okay.
anybody hitting their head with that. That to me is like, where's
No, it's
the
horrible.
humanity?
It's horrible. It's
and when I
horrible.
see the things that people are saying, it's like,
People are soulless.
we're
It's
just
awful.
really ready for the world to just crumble because
it's
I don't know
awful.
what America you want.
No,
like
people
you don't like
making
this
fun
person
of
because they
this.
vote differently from you, so you think it's because you haven't seen I've seen people like, where's the body cam footage? I'm like, I'm sorry, we are so used to everything being like law and order that motherfuckers think they have a right to see the crime. You don't have a right to see the crime and see somebody assaulted.
I will say, though, for a party that is so fixated
well,
on,
at least in someone's house.
Why
you know
are they
what I mean?
they're always, these Republicans are always so fixated on the gay sex angle of everything. Like, why is that the first place?
We literally saw people committing crimes on January 6th, and they didn't care about seeing that crime.
See, this is why
that wasn't even a crime. But you want to see something that happened in someone's house to prove to you when you've seen some shit, and you're like, well, I don't know why that happened.
Yeah. Well,
or every time we've seen a black person killed on video, and you act like that. Well, that didn't happen because of that.
This is why you're a better person than I can, because I can't be friends with Republicans because this is
trying to be
cult.
good, Amy.
This is the
I'm
no. You can
really
be good.
Trying.
I'm a good person.
Really
I just can't be with people who
my fucking shit, because some of it is just so insane that
they're
I'm
lying.
Like, guys,
yeah.
Okay. These people that are screaming at us on television don't have any of our best interests at heart.
Yeah.
Like, I need everyone to not be listening to outside shit and use your real, better fucking judgment.
And don't be
Merry
friends with
Christmas.
Republicans. But anyway, Elon Musk, we're going to kind of play this because you and I have discussed this. I mean, if it really gets to a point, I mean, my life will go on without a Twitter account. Trust me. My life would go on without any of this stuff, but
you know what
definitely, because I have to say, it's the one I use the least. I
just go there for the porn.
Oh, yeah. I go there for the. All right. Get rid of Kyrie. This is not canceling.
Well, they just got rid of Steve Nash today.
Right. Steve Nash. How can you hate? All right. Well, okay, here's the first thing. The Nets suck. And I am so glad, as Knicks fans, and we've discussed this, because everything was like, how can you root for the Nets? The Knicks, you live in Brooklyn. Well, guess what? The Nets suck. The Knicks kind of suck, but our team believes in science, and they're not posting clips from anti-Semitic films and promoting Alex Jones and then playing, I'm just a free thinker thing. What is that bullshit?
The new shit that everybody likes to say because they think it's fierce.
Right. I'm a free thinker. It's like, so you're an irresponsible twit who doesn't read anything.
Oh, yeah. And you know who they're hiring as the coach, right?
Who? No.
Ime Udoka.
You are lying to me.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Reported.
Who is coming? They said the deal will probably be done within 24 to 48 hours. And Boston is like, yes, we're not going to hold you. You can go. No, of course that's what's happening. Of course it is, honey.
I'm sorry. Can you just...
like dancing lesbians on a lake? It's happening.
Did Kyrie play for Boston when he was there? Was Kyrie
Well,
with
there's
him?
all of these things. Yes, Kyrie knows him. They feel like Kyrie respects him. I'm like, why are we
catering to fucking Kyrie?
No one else wanted him when you tried to trade him.
Why are we catering to
wanted him.
Kyrie? I mean, all right. Well, anyway, we'll get away from the insanity of the Nets choices and getting rid of.
And I used to love Kyrie Irving. And I used to think he was so hot and everything. And now it's like, oh my God, I don't care. It's just like it's always something. To me, this is just the latest thing. I'm frustrated because it's like you've been so distracting to your team everywhere you go. This is always something.
Well, the thing
and now it's like
it's worse. Now it's gone to a whole new level.
Why you play like why? Why this?
Because
why
I know why.
On this hill?
I can tell you why. Because maybe this is who he is. Maybe we're trying to act like, oh, he's wacky. Maybe the man really, because I'm sorry, this like, oh, I'm not promoting the movie. Okay, yeah, you don't have t-shirts made up and you don't have like, promotional material that you're sending out. If you take something in this day and age and retweet it or post it, you are promoting it. That's what promoting means. And so maybe, good basketball player, maybe this is who he is. Maybe he really does believe this stuff. And I don't believe in censorship or cancel culture, but I don't know. Why do we have to support? Why does big business and sports have to support somebody who is filled with so much hate? I mean, players have been banned for yelling homophobic slurs, as they should, right? Why is this guy continuing to do this stuff? I'm being really serious. I mean, why are we all just sitting there going, oh, well, Kyrie,
Listen, it's the fight. What have I said every time on this show when we talk about something that's happened that's racist? We all need to be in this fight because it's eventually going to show up to everyone's door. And here it is. Knock, knock. It's on another door. It's at another door. And knock, knock. There's a door behind that and behind that and behind that and behind that.
Right.
It's like, this shit is out of control. It's like, believe whatever you want to believe. But it just comes to a point where I ask you, why do you find being a distraction everywhere you go? You find new depths of low to go everywhere you go.
But I'm saying
why?
Maybe
why
this
can't
is
you
who
make
he
it
is.
Then don't play a team sport.
Exactly.
Play something
That's
where
the
you
thing.
play by yourself.
Right.
Because you affect your team. And to me, my issue is you could think whatever you want to think, but you keep bringing that shit in and it affects everyone and everything around you. Stop playing play a solo sport where it only affects you, but stop bringing this shit everywhere you fucking go. It's not fair to your teammates who sign up for one thing and they get you in all your shit, and then you decide you don't want to play. Then you decide
you're not going to do news, this. Right? I mean, he's been problematic from the beginning.
Everywhere he goes.
So you know how it ends? I mean, first off, it ends. You cut off. It ends where the team says, "That's it. We're censoring you." Not meaning. You have to offer.
But here's the thing: we talk
about
freedom of speech, though, right? Like,
no,
what
this
does
is
that
no.
mean?
You don't have a freedom to yell fire in a crowded theater. This is not a pub. This is a private business. There is no, the fans can speak. Stop. This is New York City. Okay, you want to say anti-Semitic shit? I think your seats might start being empty very soon. Okay.
Well, the seat's already empty because they're sucked. But here's the fucked up part is, and he said I have an army of people, and like we've talked about this on this show before. I think he has a lot of people who agree with what he's saying.
Of course he does. They're on our Facebook feed.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of people. So it's like,
the only way to shut this you're never going to get him to think right. You can't convince somebody that what they're saying is stupid. Anybody who could seriously entertain the idea that the earth is flat is either willfully stupid or is literally a moron. I don't think he's a moron. I think he says these things to see if he can be a provocateur. Okay, fine. At this point, this is who the guy is. He has been given opportunity after opportunity to say, I didn't mean it like this. And he just keeps taking the shovel and digging a hole. So the way to respond to it now is, okay, guess what, Kyrie? Your shoe deal, which is not being renewed anyway, we're ending it right now. We'll break the contract right now. No more endorsements for you. Because, I mean, there's tons of great basketball players. Why do we need to have him? he's not even bringing anything to the game, like as a basketball player, right? He's kind of like not that great anymore. Am I wrong? Am I right?
He's still great when he plays. Like he's part of the reason why they won the game that they won last night. My issue with him is this is just one more thing in a series of things. It's always something. And now here we are. We've arrived at this place where you're just kind of like, it's exhausting. And I'm exhausted.
Yeah, get rid of him. I mean, it's just like that's the point. I mean, imagine, like I said, the NBA is as sports organizations go, a pretty socially conscious. They have always been really good about this stuff. They're socially conscious. They were ahead of a lot of social justice issues. Where are the other players? Where's LeBron? Where are the people with real
they're all
clout?
brothers. There's a code, right? And they don't like they don't like to speak out against one another because of that code. And the brotherhood.
It's hurtful. It's hurtful.
But we don't know what's happening behind the scenes with him. And I am sure there's chaos in that team because they're like, for them, I'm sure there's chaos in that team.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They're black Jewish players. They're black, of course. You know what I mean?
Where's Amari?
I am sure there's energy going on where they probably even feel like, here we are again with you. Here we are again with you.
Last year with the vaccination and now this nonsense. Where's Steve Nash going? Does anyone know?
No, but he'll get a job.
He'll get a job.
It's like nobody could succeed in Brooklyn. So let's just bring in the guy from Boston who had a scandal. Like, why not? Why not? We brought in Ben Simmons. It's like, come on, this is a full fucking popcorn circus.
Right? Are you messy? Come to
Brooklyn.
You know
what I'm saying? It's like, rest in peace to Takeoff, who we don't know what happened, but was murdered in Houston.
It was something over a dice game.
It was like a dice game. There's all kinds of rumors going around the internet. Don't know what is actually correct. But again, 28 years old. That's really tragic. It's horrible, senseless. And, everybody has a gun, And I'm not anti-gun. But it's really crazy to me just how much everyone has.
Well, in Texas, of course they do.
Which is just gone permitless.
Yeah, no, you can walk around. You can be blind in Texas and have a gun.
And you say, I feel for the cops in that situation. It's like everybody has a gun. No one needs a permit. How does that how do these interactions go now?
They don't care. That's
going to be the Wild West. It already is the Wild West. So, no one seems to give a shit.
And I just want to mention two people who passed this week.
Speaking to your mic.
Two people who's passed this week. I'll start with the one who's probably the best known to everyone, the Jerry Lee Lewis, the killer. And, there had been rumors that he died the previous week. And then it was like knowing of Jerry, he was like, I'll die when I want to die. Okay. Jerry Lee Lewis is the last of the first round of Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees. He was the last one living. The rest of them have all passed. Jerry Lee Lewis was probably, he was not a good person at all by today's standard, not a good person, a piece of work to the very end, ornery, everything. But man, oh man, he was rock and roll. He was the embodiment of rock and roll. And those early songs, and a great country music career. So he died. He was not a healthy living man, but just what he did for rock music. He put it on the map. He helped put it on the map in a great. And D.H. Peligro, Darren Henley from the drummer from the Dead Kennedys, the second drummer, but the drummer who is the best known, passed away this week. He was 63 years old. I hadn't seen Darren since maybe 2007, 2008, but I do have a history with Dead Kennedys. They were friends of mine. I toured with them, went out on the road with them in 1981 when Darren first joined the band. I can't even tell you, Courtney, this guy was like the smile. You know how some people just smile and the whole room is like sunshine?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then to counter it, and then on the other side, he was this brutally fierce drummer. He was one of the first drummers to really bridge that thing between punk and hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
Great. And one of the few black punk rock musicians on a national, international scope, but just a really nice guy. My heart goes out to his fans and to my Dead Kennedys. I have this is
You
kind
have
of my
history
youth.
with those guys.
Yeah, I have real history with them. And like I said, I hadn't seen him in years, but I had so much fun when we did hang out. I had a blast with him. So it's really, really sad. And yeah, so Jerry Lee Lewis, take off, rest in peace. Darren, DH, rest in peace. What are you listening to? Other than the men drilling holes in your apartment?
Well, they're plugging them up. Well, I have been. I don't. For some reason.
Okay, I'm gonna fine you $1 every time you say that.
I don't know if you know this, but it's been the 25th anniversary of Kylie Minogue's very maligned album, Impossible Princess, when she was in her indie phase for one album. And people got very upset and didn't love it. But then, retrospective reviews have come out and talked about how great it is. I love the album from first listen in 1997 when I got it. It was reissued on vinyl. And a friend of mine was in Europe and came back to the States and came back with a lovely vinyl edition of Kylie Minogue's Impossible Princess. So I've been literally in Kylie Minogue heaven all weekend. And I've been listening to this artist, Black Odyssey, and his album is Black Vintage, The Reprise. And it's so good. Good R&B record. I don't know anything about him. I haven't even looked him up, any of his other work.
How did you find out about it? Just through Bill or somebody?
Who sent it to me? Bill Coleman one day over the weekend hit me with it. And I was like, oh, this is good. It's really, really, really good. So I've just been listening to the music. Like normally I dig in if it's somebody I didn't know, but I just haven't had time because I've been prepping the apartment for the work that's being done. But it's really, really good, and people should absolutely check it out. It's called Black Vintage, The Reprise, and the artist is Black Odyssey, and Black is spelled BLK.
Because that's how all the cool kids
call it. Oh, and I've also been listening to the new Dragonette album, 20s, which is really good. Oh, and the new SZA singles, Shirt, which is hot.
Yeah, that was on our playlist last week.
And Dylan, the 60 90s. That's a really good one right now. So yeah, I've been listening to
I haven't listened to it because I don't have 4 years, but Salt, the group Salt, dropped, I don't know, 27 records this morning that will all disappear in 5 days unless you downloaded them. And so I said, well, let me download it. And no, I'm not even lying. There are like 67 tracks and it's one album. And I'm like,
Well, it's 5 different albums, isn't it?
No, but this appeared to be one album.
Oh, when you pulled it in, it came in. They didn't break apart. It did
no. It's sort of like a Love Sexy vibe where you can't play one track from another. And I'm like, I just want to hear Anastasia. No, you have to listen to the whole goddamn record. No, but I just want to hear Alphabet. You have to listen to the whole damn record. Anyway, so so far, I mean, Salt is one. I mean, look, when they hit, and when they don't hit, it's like, wow, you got a lot of spree time on your hands, you know. So I will listen to it because I do like them a lot. I find them interesting. I like the way there is one album that's officially on Spotify, which is, to quote you, very.
Oh gosh, is it like the latest Bjork? Listen, I try, and I love Bjork.
No.
And everybody's talking about how brilliant this record is. I'm like, no, it isn't. It's because I'm from Earth. I don't know.
No, it's not. Listen, Courtney, here's the thing. You know this and I know this. You tell me anyone you know, for real, who listens to Kid A. Nobody listens to Kid A. For real. For real, listens to Kid A.
One. That's
no
true.
One.
That's
Nobody
true.
listens to it. You tell me somebody who for real listens to Bjork beyond the hits. For real, sits down and really listens to her. Nobody really does that. They say they do it.
But they don't.
They don't. No, they do not do it. They say they do it because it makes them look really cool. Nobody really listens to Grimes. Nobody really listens to half of these groups that get all this press because we don't have time and we want to be happy. And that's
I still don't know what Halsey does, but that's okay.
Yeah, but you said you didn't hate her.
No, I said there was like 2 songs, and I was like,
it doesn't matter.
But they were also remixes too. So that,
no, she's. I think she's cool. I like her. I think she's interesting. But I will say this: just a warning to Rihanna. Like Rihanna, if you're listening, which of course will never happen. Rihanna, SZA's about to drop a record too, and we have an attention.
I've heard the album is really good.
We have an attention span in this country of 15 negative seconds. So get to getting, baby, because
and now you've blown the load of here's my first song in 6 years.
Yeah.
We'll be happy for the new one, but the load is blown because now everybody's we're all wary of like, oh my God, is this gonna be an era with you with a guitar? Like,
no.
Are we going into your Natalie Merchant era?
Oh God, no, please, no! Oh my God, no!
You are so kind and generous. For your kind.
Oh no! Come on! I don't know. No. All right, take us out of here. I can't take it. I have this image. I have this image in my head now of Rihanna up there wearing a gunny sack with a freaking guitar and no makeup.
The no makeup look. Thank you guys for listening so much to I'ma Let You Finish. We're on the Pantheon Podcast Network. Remember to vote. Next week is Election Day, November 8th.
Oh, yeah. Vote now. You can vote now.
It is in New York, early voting is right now. You can vote. So please vote wherever you are. Vote like your life depends on it, because it does.
It does.
And remember to also leave a rating. Tell a friend. Follow us. We're on Facebook at I'ma Let You Finish, all one word. We're on Instagram at I'ma Let You Finish NY. We're on TikTok at I'ma Let You Finish Podcast. We're on Spotify, Pandora, Apple,
drugs.
Deezer.
We're on drugs.
Google,
or at least one of
drugs, Amazon, Pia Zadora. We're on all of them.
We are.
All of them.
We're on antipsychotics. We're on antibiotics. We're on everything. We're on everything.
We're the pill popping gang.
If only.
Okay. If
God.
only. No, I missed that whole thing of like, the kids all like. I didn't know anybody who got all hooked up on like Oxy and all of the madness, but evidently it was really bad.
Take the show out. All right, bye. See you later. Gotta talk about it. Gotta go. Bye.
This is such a messy
gotta go.
Show.
Bye.
Such a messy show, kid. But
all
anyway,
right, and for anyone running the marathon,
talk, it is Election Day, November 8th next week. So please remember to vote. And if you're in a place where you can vote early. Do that. Bring your neighbor. If you have a neighbor who needs a ride, give somebody a ride. We all need to pitch in. And if you are running the New York City Marathon this weekend,
have fun. I'll see you.
We'll see you out there as I'm cheering for you when you get up to Harlem. So,
all right.
We'll see you next week, kids.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
It's NFL draft season, and that means it's time to start thinking about fantasy football. FantasyPoints.com features industry-leading experts and prognosticators using proprietary hand-charted data to help you score more fantasy points. FantasyPoints.com is the place to go for whatever kind of fantasy football you play. Whether you play fantasy football, daily fantasy sports, or do a little bit of everything, Fantasy Points has the meticulously researched content to guide you to victory. And why wait for the fall? Fantasy Points also covers the new spring football league, the UFL. Join the guru, John Hansen, Scott Barrett, Joe Dolan, and other massive names in the fantasy football universe with an exclusive offer. Use code Pantheon for 15% off any Fantasy Points package, including the all-in package, with access to every article, tool, and data nugget that Fantasy Points has to offer. That's FantasyPoints.com and code Pantheon for 15% off at Fantasy Points. FantasyPoints.com, code Pantheon. Score more fantasy points.